tingles. Hope we're all doing really well. Welcome to another video of the joking series. This one is the food edition. So let's get started. Why did the tomato blush? Because it saw the salad dressing. What kind of room does not have doors? A mushroom. Why did the cookie go to the doctor? Because it felt crummy. What does garlic do when it gets hot? It takes its clothes off. Why was the peanut sad? Because it was just roasted. Why do pancakes always win at baseball? They have the best batter. Why did the coffee file a police report? It got mugged. Why don't oysters give to charity? Because they are shellfish. Why did the banana go to the party? Because it was a peeling. Why don't you ever trust sushi? Because it is a little fishy. Why did the apple stop in the middle of the road? Because it ran out of juice. Why was the bread embarrassed? Because it saw the butter spread. What does a lemon say when it answers the phone? Yellow. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Why did the butter sit down? Because it was on a roll. Why did the orange stop? Because it ran out of zest. Why did the hamburger go to the gym? To get better puns. What is a potato's favorite game? Hot potato. Why don't bananas ever feel lonely? Because they hang out in bunches. Why did the pie go to the dentist? Because it needed a filling. Why did the egg hide? Because it was a little chicken. What is a ghost's favorite dessert? Ice cream. Why did the sandwich go to the doctor? It was feeling a little clubbed. Why did the cereal get promoted? Because it was a grain above the rest. Why did the baker go to therapy? Because he needed it. Why did the mushroom go to the party alone? Because he was a fun guy. Why don't pickles ever win races? They always get relished. Why do peppers make great archers? Because they hop an arrow. Why did the turkey sit in the shade? Because it did not want to get roasted. What is a vegetable's favorite kind of music? Beatboxing. Why did the strawberry cry? Because it was in a jam. Why did the fork break up with the spoon? Because it found someone more saucy. Why did the milk get in trouble? Because it spilled the beans. What is a chicken's favorite day of the week? Friday. Why was the lettuce so quiet? Because it was a little head. Why did the pizza apply for a job? It wanted to make some dough. Why don't hot dogs ever argue? Because they always roll with it. Why did the baker quit his job? Because it was the yeast he could do. Why did the potato sit in the corner? Because it was a little fried. What did the fork say to the spaghetti? You're tangled up in your feelings again. Why don't watermelons ever argue? They just let things slide off their rind. Why did the popcorn turn red? Because it saw the kernel. What is a loaf of bread's favorite sport? Loaf ball. Why don't bears like telling secrets? Because they always split. What did one pancake say to the other? We're flipping out. Why did the salad break up with the dressing? It found it too clingy. Why don't tortillas ever get lost? They always roll with the crowd. Why did the apple pie go to school? To become well-rounded. Why was the celery always picked first? Because it was stalked. What did the bagel say to the donut? You're just a wannabe with sprinkles. Why did the onion cry at the talent show? Because it brought tears to everyone's eyes. What is a fish's favorite snack? Goldfish crackers, but only in school. Why did the carrot feel important? Because it was the root of the problem. Why did the ketchup run late? It was trying to catch up. What did the tortilla chip say to the salsa? You complete me. Why did the pancake get promoted? Because it stacked up well. What did the cupcake say to the muffin? Stop loafing around. Why was the broccoli always calm? It knew how to keep its florets together. Why don't eggs ever get bored? They're always up to something egg-citing. What did the ice cube say to the drink? Chill, I got this. Why did the sandwich apply for the job? To bring home the bacon. Why did the pepper blush? It saw the chili shake. Why did the noodle always run late? Because it was pasta time. Why don't avocados ever fight? Because they would just walk away. Why was the rice so happy? Because it was on a roll. What did the cookie say to the cake? You take the layer, I'll take the crumbs. Why don't bananas go skiing? Because they split too easily. Why was the pear so stylish? Because it was well suited. What did the grape say after being stepped on? Nothing, it just let out a little whine. Why did the peanut butter get embarrassed? It was stuck in a jam. Why was the steak so confident? Because it was well done. Why did the milkshake join the band? It wanted to blend in. What is the taco's favorite day? Every day, it's taco time. Why did the bread roll out of bed? Because it was on a roll. What did the cinnamon bun say to the coffee? You perk me up. Why did the broccoli break its phone? Too many missed stocks. Why did the donut go to therapy? It was feeling empty inside. Why did the eggplant write a song? Because it had the blues. Why don't mushrooms ever gossip? They're too grounded. Why was the sandwich nervous? It had too many layers of pressure. What did the apple say to the orange? You're looking very appealing today. Why did the lettuce leave the meeting early? It did not want to remain any longer. Alright, I think that'll be it for tonight. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed these food jokes and I hope you all sleep well.